welcome to the 39th video of Old Guys, Gentlemen Flippers. And today what I'm going to be reviewing is the Kizer Tomcat. It was done in collaboration with Tom Stokes of Tomcat Knives. Kizer's produced a number of elegant functional models, and the River Cat is no exception. At least that's what they say on HQ. This was a real kind of a love-hate feeling that I have towards this knife. I think what I'll start off on are some of the hates. First of all, there's a slight recurve on this, and I have normally what I do is I would have this all sharpened, and I might tag that onto the end of this video. But this is how it comes out of the box. It's a toothy, sharp edge. Had a Made in China sticker on here that I pulled off and haven't cleaned up yet. But it's got a recurve on there. Not much of one, but that's enough to play a little havoc with a sharpening system. So I'm going to have to figure that out, and maybe that'll be a separate video, an appendix to this. The next problem is this thumb stud. I'm not sure, but I think this is going to interfere because you've got stones that, you know, maybe they'll come in at this kind of angle, but it probably won't be able to hit this because of this thumb stud is it's going to be potentially in the way depending on what angle I'm at. And it's a flipper. I don't use the thumb stud. I'm not even sure how easy it is. This probably isn't fair because I'm not a thumb stud guy. See, another problem here is that it's very sensitive to putting any pressure on the lock bar. So even when you're flipping, you've got to make sure that your fingers are below. That was another problem. When I first got this, I was really hurting my finger trying to flip it. And there was nothing like a drop close. But I went in there and lubed the inside. There was no lube at all. And I adjusted the tension on the lock bar. And right now, it's pretty close to drop close. It's a nice, smart action open. And the close is I really like the action now. So if you get one of these things, you may not like it to begin with, but if you play with it a little bit, you'll get a really nice action out of it. Okay. The other thing is that the clip. I've heard some people say, well, it's designed like this to go with the overall kind of hardware look to this thing. But what it is it's way too much spring in here. And I had to bend it way back to get to the point where I can sort of put it on close. And so right now there's just a little bit of a gap there. I might even want a little bit more than that because I can get it on my jeans pocket, but it's still a struggle to get it off. The other thing is this curlicue here. I know why they did some of this, so you can put material in there or slide underneath. But when you hold this thing, that thing is digging in right here. And it's not awful, but it's noticeable. And good knives shouldn't have something like that. So I may look at modifying that somehow without ruining the look of the knife. There are too many, this is all part of the design, have all these flashy screws on here. But I think the real beauty of this knife is this really great machine job of this kind of wave action. They could have gotten by with 2 or maybe even 1 screw. I don't know how structurally that would work, but I don't like all these things sticking out. I think it subtracts from the look. It still is a beautiful knife. And I think that's it for the stuff that I don't like. Stuff that's really good about it is, as I said before, this machining is just really kind of cool. Usually you don't see this except on a lot more expensive knives. I already told you about how I like the action now. The overall look, despite the boltiness of it, looks pretty good. The blade shape is kind of neat, except for that stupid recurve. Well, the other good thing is it has flats that come out to here, and I'm probably going to be clamping somewhere in here, which means I'll have flats to clamp on. So that's a good thing. Now for some of the stats, which I usually have in the beginning, now I've given away some of the punchlines. The overall length of this thing is 7.75 inches. Blade length is 3.375. When I measure it, looks like closer to like 3¼ inches. Blade styles clip point. The grind is a hollow grind, which I think adds to the look, and I think will make this easier to sharpen. It's titanium material. Oh, I forgot another bad thing. This is titanium, and that is steel. There's no insert there. So from what all I've read, I haven't experienced it, is that eventually, because this is a softer material, it'll wear away and I'll end up with some problems, either having a loose blade or having a lock stick. So I think that's it. I think this is going to be a keeper. I think I'll put a little addendum out showing you how the sharpening came, and also what it looks like without these and my experience with that. And maybe I'll tackle something with this pointy thing. But I think I'll be keeping this just because the design of the handle is really nice. So, hope you got some value out of that, and until next time, goodbye. Hold on, wait a second. I promised an addendum. So, I took this into my laboratory and worked on it for a little bit, and I'll show you the things I did. First of all, I put a really nice edge on it. I thought I might have some difficulty, and you can kind of see there's a few minor scratches down at that end. The problem is when you do a recurve, you have a flat surface, and this wasn't that bad of a recurve. But when you put a flat surface directly across this, it'll wear in on the left corner and the right corner and not touch the middle. So what you do, or at least what I did, is you turn the stone kind of at an angle when you're in that area, and you kind of do sweeping motions. And so I did that. So I would sweep down here, and then I do the scrubbing back and forth over here. You can't scrub there, and it worked out pretty well. Really sharp too. The next thing I did is this thumb stud. I don't use it. It's kind of in the way of the stone coming up and down, and so here it is. I wasn't sure exactly how it was bonded in there, so it's a screw, and actually, oh, there we go. I think they had some Loctite in there as well. I basically had to put a vice grip on one side, a vice grip on the other. I had to fully tape the blade so I didn't mark anything up as I was trying to get this thing out. So I'm glad this thing's out. I don't use it, and it's in the way of sharpening, but I'll keep that in case I ever sell this thing. And the hole being there, I guess it doesn't really bug me. I might take a look at filing some of this away if I can make it bring down the height of this thing and still make it look kind of pretty. That's a project for the future. Or if there's something online I could buy, we'll have to see. But as it is, that's not bad. The next thing I did is, I'm not sure if I had this in the original video or not, but I greatly improved the action. It flips open really well. It has that nice, slow drop close. Almost like a showgirl. The final thing I did was, if you look at the earlier videos, this thing came up and continued to curl up almost to the height of this thing. And the problem is when I was holding the knife like this, it would create a hot spot right here. So what I did is I basically ground this down, but you probably can't even tell it. I did a pretty good job. I ground that down, and if I were to do it over again, I probably wouldn't have brought it down as far. But the hot spot is gone, and I can easily slip this in and out of my pocket. So mission accomplished on that. So now I have a really nice, cool looking, very sharp mirror edge drop close knife that I'm probably going to keep for a while. Now, I hope you had some value out of this video, and until next time,